My name is Lauren Schuster, and I am so pleased to welcome everybody to Magnolia Gardens. Thank you for joining us today. I am the Chief External Affairs Officer at URI. On behalf of URI, I want to thank you all for joining us to celebrate this auspicious opening of Magnolia Gardens. For those of you who may not know us, Urban Resource Institute has been serving New Yorkers for nearly 50 years now. Today, we have grown to become the largest provider of domestic violence shelter services in the country and a leading force for working with unhoused families here in New York City. Every year, URI provides services and supports to approximately 40,000 individuals through a continuum of services, which includes safe shelter, violence prevention and intervention, economic justice, legal services, and our innovative People and Animals Living Safely program, PALS. You will see two of the stars of our show today, Nala and Suki, are here. They are animals, and our hope is that this site is among one of our many PALS pet inclusive sites. On any given night, our team provides safe shelter to nearly 4,000 individuals and their pets. The vast majority of those individuals are children, about 60%. Magnolia Gardens, where we all are here today, it's a beautiful new building in one of the most vibrant and diverse communities right here in New York City. It is a purpose-built, award-winning community that was designed with intention, and soon it will be home to 90 families who will find healing, support, and community right here. Today is a testament to the power of partnership. We would not have been here without our partners at the New York City Department for Social Services and Asian Americans for Equality, our local elected officials who have stood with us and supported us even when it wasn't easy to do, to the developers, the design teams, and the many community organizations who have been with us to develop this site for many, many years. I want to take a moment and call some folks out. So we have some members of our Housing Retention Collaborative here. These are the individuals that we've partnered with from the beginning to make this site possible, to envision what it could be, the services that it should provide. The Chinese American Planning Council, Korean American Family Services Center, Garden of Hope, Womankind, Korean Community Services, Child Center of New York, South Asian Council for Social Services, Charles B. Wang Community Health Center, the YMCA of Flushing, and the YWCA of Flushing. And if I have forgotten anybody, please yell at me when I step down, and I will make sure to mention you when I come back up. I also want to acknowledge some of the members of the board of both AAFE and URI who are here with us. Your support has enabled this project to come to fruition. So on the AAFE side, I have Peggy Chan, Toby Singh Baba, and Lisa Talma. Thank you so much. And for URI, I have Alan Kolad, Dr. Nina Isaki, Jennifer Rimbach, Dr. Vivine Salmon, and Keanu Hippolyte. Thank you all. We have representatives, some of our elected officials who were gracious enough to join us and spend the morning with us. They will be speaking, but we have representatives from State Senator Roxanne Persaud's office and Council Member Linda Lee's office. Thank you. We also have our partners at the ASPCA here, without whom PALS would not be possible. I want to give a really intentional shout out to the members of the development teams here at URI and at AAFE. The site, this beautiful, this dignified, this humble, and this welcoming doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of the work that they all did at the very beginning, before any of us were here, to make it possible. So we have Andrea Alekpolis, and I'm sorry if I am mangling your name, Nelson Chan, the Nelson Chan. We have Karen Boudram and Charlie Carroll, URI's SVP of Asset Management. I also want to call out our partners, Archstone, UAI Architects, and Christine Chisholm from Ametrine. You guys are a dream team. These partnerships turned the vision for Magnolia Gardens into a reality. And today we are here to celebrate all of the families who will find safety, healing, stability, and community right here. It is my pleasure now to introduce you to someone who brings a very important perspective on why spaces like Magnolia Gardens are so needed. URI's General Counsel, Lydia Ma.
Thank you, Lauren. 大家好，欢迎. It is incredibly meaningful to stand here today in Flushing, one of the most diverse neighborhoods in New York City, and a community rich in culture, language, and tradition. I am a proud child of Taiwanese immigrants. Like many of you, that meant I was both the translator and advocate for my parents. Despite my parents' education, their accents and inexperience with American ways were an obstacle to integrating into their new home. Flushing is home to vibrant Asian and immigrant communities, where many cultures and languages mix and meld. And like many such communities, Flushing is also where issues like domestic violence and homelessness are often hidden or difficult to talk about. Studies show that nearly 1 in 3 Asian women in the United States experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime. Yet, these experiences are significantly underreported because of stigma, language barriers, and limited access to culturally responsive services. At the same time, Asian New Yorkers experiencing homelessness are among the fastest growing groups in the city's shelter system, highlighting the need for services that are accessible, culturally responsive, and rooted in the communities they serve. That's why spaces like Magnolia Gardens are so important. Magnolia Gardens represents more than housing. It represents visibility, access, and support for families who may have previously felt that services were out of reach or not designed for them. From multilingual staff to programs that reflect the needs of this community, Magnolia Gardens was built to ensure families feel welcomed, respected, and supported as they rebuild their lives. And at its core, this building reflects something simple but powerful. When we create safe housing, we create the foundation for families to heal, stabilize, and move forward. That belief is at the heart of URI's work. 谢谢. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. I very much appreciate that. I want to call out our board member, Roy Williams, who we are so thrilled was able to join us, and also staff and representatives from Council Member Sandra Ong's office. Thank you for being here today. I cannot underscore enough the partnership with AAFE. This project would not be possible without your deep roots in the community and your team's tireless work. I am proud to call up Thomas Yu, the Executive Director of AAFE.
Well, welcome all to Flushing. If you weren't awake before, you're awake now after the lion dance. But it is Lunar New Year season, and what an auspicious time to open this new facility that's going to help our friends and neighbors. I want to thank our attendees for coming today and spending our morning with us, particularly Deputy Mayor Helen Arteaga, Commissioner Aaron Dalton, Queensborough President Donovan Richards, Assemblymember Ron Kim, and Peter Tu, all of our friends and our Flushing Collaborative that were mentioned earlier. They've been working hard leading up to this point to really educate the community about why they don't need to live the way they do, in some of their most difficult situations, whether it's unsafe or they're living in basements, as you hear often throughout Queens. And more recently, unfortunately, in the past few weeks, you heard tragedies like the Elmhurst fire, where a mother and her infant died in the fire, and because folks are living in these situations in illegal basements, that really they should be in safe and dignified transitional housing such as ours. And a lot of times, it's hard to talk about. I know there's a stigma, and doubly so because sometimes our cultural taboos that we don't talk about these things. But I want to really, really demystify that and say that, this is a place where you are safe and we will welcome you. Sometimes people don't know what a homeless person looks like. And I want to tell you that, like, you're looking at one right now. When I was younger, my family experienced homelessness, and where we lived, we were in a shanty town in Hong Kong that caught fire. It was no fault of ours, and often you'll find that in many cases, you hear about fires throughout our city. Unfortunately, people are displaced. Particularly, we had a fire in Chinatown, and they come to groups like AAFE and all the other service providers and say, "Where can I get housing for my family?" I was in that same situation. My parents were hardworking folks, and at that time, my place where we tried to get back on our feet was a cot in a hurricane shelter, and we lived there for months, until finally permanent affordable housing opened up. This is a testament that people don't have to live that way. We are here with our partners at URI to provide that wraparound service. We have this wonderful ecosystem of partners all around us that you've heard before. We're going to help our neighbors and friends get back on their feet, And so I'd like to welcome you all, celebrate with you. We have a lot of work to do, together. And this is something that it's all of our responsibilities. It's not something that we can kind of sweep under the rug and pretend it goes away. The more we help our friends and neighbors get back on their feet, the better and more vibrant and strong our city is. So thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. Now it is my honor to introduce URI's CEO, Nathaniel Felix.
So I've been doing this work for a few decades now, and what I've learned is that you never know someone's journey in front of you. So Thomas, thanks for disclosing your journey. It takes a lot of courage to talk about your life, and at the same time, it's so encouraging to see you up here leading a major organization in New York City and doing such good in Flushing. Let's give it up to Thomas again, please. The challenge when you start to present later on down in terms of presentations, you need to amend on the fly because so many people have said so many things you were going to say. So I'm going to do that, and just bear with me. The 45 years ago, when URI was born in 1980, it was a time before New York City even had a right to shelter. It was an era when domestic violence was a silent crisis, and modern homelessness was only just beginning to take shape. We started with a radical belief that every individual deserves a life free from violence and a place to call home. Today, we have grown into one of the largest providers of domestic violence shelter services in the country and a leading provider of shelter for families. On any given night, you heard from Lauren, we have the privilege to work with about 4,000 individuals, women, men, children, and their pets. And we serve about 40,000 New Yorkers each year. Some honesty here, right? I was talking to some of the agency folks who weren't in office before. When we began our journey of building high quality housing, some folks in city agencies told URI that our shelters were just too nice, that families wouldn't want to leave. And that was heartbreaking. And we're so happy that that view has changed because people in crisis deserves decency. People in crisis deserves decency. Magnolia Gardens is that definitive answer to that thinking. When a family walks through these doors, and you heard from Thomas that often something has happened to them, so when they walk through these doors, they find a space that tells them, without a single word being uttered, that they matter, right? That they matter. Magnolia Gardens is just a building. It's a sanctuary designed with deep intention. Our partners of AAFE have been amazing. The respect, the various cultures in New York can be so wonderful. This building integrated feng shui principles specifically for the Flushing community and the community at large. You heard from some of our folks, it represents environmental leadership, that this is New York City's first shelter, or when they say first ever, they like me to go, this is New York City's first shelter built to passive house standards, proving that, yeah, give it up, proving that green energy and social justice can go hand in hand. And I'm leading, because we're working with the city, to make this a PALS, People and Animals Living Safely shelter, because we understand that it's so important for people in crisis to bring their pets with them during the healing journey. We also know with the recent closure of Bellevue, you heard Thomas talk about this, Magnolia Gardens represents what's doing better looks like. It's a statement that a roof tonight is just not enough. It must be a roof that restores hope. I'm so grateful to be here in front of you. We have wonderful partners. I want to talk about a board of trustees who you heard from Lauren, our nearly 1,000 team members who are just brilliant, caring and committed to excellence. Many of the staff in the room, your work is the heartbeat of our mission. It truly is. Before we give them a round of applause, before we do that, let's remember that our gratitude must be backed by advocacy. We must continue to fight for just pay. Yeah. For our human services workers, their expertise is the foundation of the city. Lauren thanked the many people involved in this project. I want to thank them again. AAFE, Thomas, Nelson, and not just Thomas and Nelson, it's so many people that are involved that Lauren mentioned, and so many more involved in this project. It's amazing. And so we're thinking about all of you and the community at large. A special shout out to, of course, Beverly Riddick, our Chief Operations Officer. I was talking to Nelson, I think, and he reminded me that it was Thomas and Nelson and Beverly and Charlie standing right outside during COVID, right? And talking about the possibilities and the idea that people coming together, being able to do their best work, their best thinking, this sort of collective impact. And now we're sitting in front of Magnolia Gardens, so it's just amazing. I love the idea of partnership, to think about who has deep expertise, not to waste resources. The idea to come together with some of our key partners and really have that collective impact, whether it's our partners in construction at Archstone, or in design, or building designers and Folio, whether it's the community at large. When we come together, we can do just such amazing things. I know we talked about the ASPCA. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the animal welfare community. When we started this journey, bringing pets and people together, ASPCA was front and center. It's not only good enough to want to do good work, you need to have the knowledge, skills, and resources to do the good work. And ASPCA was one of our first partners to bring capital, the vets, the pet therapists, all the resources to make it really good work. And we look forward to making sure that work happens here at Magnolia Gardens. Yeah. Now I'm going to get out of your way, but I have the honor and privilege to be joined by a true daughter of Queens, a trailblazer in public health, and a steadfast champion for our city's families. As the former CEO of Elmhurst Hospital, she led that institution through the most devastating public health crisis of our generation with incredible resolve. Please join me in welcoming the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, Dr. Helen Artiega.
I'm little, so we're gonna have to bring this down. Well, hello, good morning, everyone, or almost afternoon. Nate, thank you so much for your leadership And I just, before I go into my remarks, I really want to thank AAFE and everyone in this room. What I just saw today was not only beautiful, but dignified and so peaceful and so thoughtful that I thought, what a blessing. And when I see the mayor later, I'm gonna tell him, Mayor, I saw what our future shelters should look like. I'm so honored and humbled since this is my borough. I love all boroughs, but this is my little favorite one. I'm so honored to be here with you today. Projects like this remind us that as a city, we could do this work together. So thank you so much for all the partnership, all the brainstorming, all the deep breaths that took to decide what colors we should have on the wall, how many elevators, how many rooms, but more importantly, that we get to have pets. I'm a big cat lover, so thank you, pals, for doing this work. But Magnolia Gardens represents something else. It represents the kind of approach that we can do with this vulnerable community. Because when a family walks through these doors, they're at their lowest. They feel unsafe, they feel insecure, and the people in this building are gonna say, we got you. We got you in the sense that we're gonna be here for you. We're gonna create a space that we're gonna support you, where we're gonna make you feel safe, and that we're gonna make sure that this is just one step forward. At Magnolia, in the tour that I got to see that it's not just apartments here. We're gonna provide workshops, we're gonna provide spaces for our kids to learn how to read, how to garden, and that's just the work of holistic work. And thank you for doing this commitment. This also reflects something larger. It reflects the commitment that as a city, we are here to transform what shelter programs look like. For far too long, New York has relied on outdated facilities, commercial hotels that have never been designed to support families that experience homelessness. And Magnolia Gardens shows the directions we're moving forward, and we are so proud in the city to be part of that partnership. I want to acknowledge the strong partnership and the effort and love that was made possible to make this happen. Amazing leadership, Nate, and you and your team, AAFE, the Department of Social Services, our commissioners here, and of course, our Queensborough President, Donovan. As we look forward to do this work together, know that here, this administration stands by your side to make sure innovative ways continue on happening, and that we're here to support, not only move forward, but move forward with our families and our city. To everyone here today, thank you for supporting this project.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Our partnership with the City of New York has been long and it is meaningful, and we are so excited to be working more closely with you. It is my honor now to bring up our Borough President, Donovan Richards. Your leadership on behalf of this beautiful, beautiful borough is incredible.
Well, good morning, Flushing. Good morning, Queens. Are y'all up? Good morning, Queens. And what an important morning it is as we give the most vulnerable families amongst us the hand up that they deserve. And let me just talk about these families. They're not looking for a handout. They're looking for a hand up. And this is what you are doing today. I want to thank Thomas and Nate for your vision. Vision is the art of seeing what's invisible to others. And I share your story, definitely growing up housing insecure. So it's very personal to me as well. I'm your Queensborough President, Donovan Richards, just recently reelected as well. And it's a real pleasure to stand here with our friends at AAFE and the Urban Resource Institute, as they know it takes real partnership to go get a project like this across the finish line. And we need projects like Magnolia Gardens now more than ever. Let's look at the facts. More than 85,000 people will go to sleep in a city homeless shelter tonight. That includes more than 17,000 families, and amongst that number, that includes nearly 30,000 children. And in the richest city in the history of the world, we have tens of thousands of women and children sleeping in shelters every night. And that should sicken us, and it should inspire us to take action. And here in Flushing, that's exactly what we're doing. And let me just say this. A great philosopher by the name of Tupac Shakur once said, they have money for wars but can't feed the poor. And your socioeconomic status, and your zip code should not be a determinant on whether you can have accessible, quality, affordable housing. And that's what we're delivering right here at this ribbon cutting for Magnolia Gardens. And we can talk about all the amenities we want. 90 modern units of supportive transitional housing, social services on site. What we need to remember today is the 90 stories behind each of these units. The children who didn't have a bed to call home. The 90 families who, for whatever reason, lost their homes. The teenagers who might have been wondering if they had any sort of future to look forward to. Each of these 90 units represent 90 brighter futures. 90 hands up, 90 second chances at getting back on their feet. And that's why we're here today. That's who we are here for this morning. The only way to escape this generational housing crisis our city faces is to build our way out of that. And I can attest that in Queens we are doing that. We approved 30,000 units of housing just last year. And some of that was complicated. We get a lot of pushback in certain corners of this borough when it comes to building housing. But what I often tell people is, well, you say you don't want a shelter. You don't want a shelter, well, you gotta build permanent housing. And you talked about some sites that are really relevant, that have sat untouched and blighted in this borough, and we've just completed a partnership with the governor, which we're looking at the former Creedmoor site, which will produce upwards of over 2,000 units of housing. So you think about social services and really building our way out of this crisis, and we're doing this right here in Queens County. So we must leave no stone unturned when it comes to building affordable housing, supportive and transitional housing. I'm supposed to be on a call with AAFE at 11:30 on another project which we put $2 million towards to ensure we can also ensure our NYCHA residents have permanent housing who might have lost their units as well. So whether that's building on government-owned land or working with nonprofits like AAFE and URI, these are the conversations we need to have every single day. I truly want to thank AAFE and the URI once again for answering the call and doing your part to keep roofs over our families' heads. That work continues, but for 90 families, their path to a better future just got brighter. Congratulations.
Thank you, Borough President. And now I would like to call up Assemblymember Ron Kim, who is a champion for people in Albany and right here in Flushing.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's hard. Good morning. It's hard to follow the BP and his new earrings. You see those? You see those earrings he has on? You look great, Mr. BP. You look amazing.
I'm midlife crisis.
I was sitting here and I was just listening to all the remarks, and I echo everyone's sentiments. And what do you think was the most common word that has been used so far this morning? Partnership. Partnership. And I want to offer a new word to summarize everything that I've seen today and impart on you. Partnerism. In a politics of dominance, this is what partnerism looks like. When everyone is talking about war, when everyone's talking about private equity, hedge funds taking over housing units, this is what ground-up empowerment looks like when AAFEs in the world and nonprofit providers and government entities come together to provide the capital and the manpower to do things in efficient, effective ways to build better housing for the city of New York. So I want to thank you. And I know that you're relatively new to, this is new footprint in Flushing, and I want to congratulate URI for being in Flushing and being part of our family now. But I want to give an extra special shout out to AAFE. AAFE has been part of us for so many decades, and this project wasn't easy. It was not easy. I remember it was just a couple years ago, just around the corner, there were protests everywhere. People wanted to stop this. And it was people, stakeholders like Peter Tu and FCBA and others, and CPC, and all the nonprofit funders, they came together and built the partnership from the ground up that was necessary to get this done. So that's the lesson for me today, and the empowering moment that can summarize, and I see Sandra Ong's staff there, and Sandra Ong also played a very critical role in bringing all the stakeholders together. So I want to thank all of our partners and summarize this moment in one word: partnerism. Thank you.
Thank you, Assembly Member. I am honored to call up our brand new Commissioner of the Department of Social Services, Erin Dalton. Welcome to New York City. We are so excited to have you here.
We've decided it's still morning, yeah? I was trying to decide which of you I wanted to follow, and it's really none of you. Thank you for having me. Brand new is right. I'm Erin Dalton. I got here on Saturday from Pittsburgh. Anyone like Pittsburgh? It's a real honor to serve in this role as DSS Commissioner. To work on some of the hardest challenges we face every day, whether it's domestic violence or homelessness. It's an incredibly important city to do this work, at an incredibly important time, a time where we really need to show we can make progress on these important problems, where we can show that our government really works for people. And so I'm just humbled at the honor to try and work alongside of all of you to do that. I have a lot of optimism for how we can do that work. New York is different, right? Where I come from, the government's super fractured, right? We have 3 housing authorities, 42 school districts, over 100 police departments. All of our structure is spread out, where in New York City, with obviously way more people, you've got one mayor that for which we all report to. And so there's just real opportunity, I think, to bring government together in ways that is harder to do in other places, right? And this mayor is different, right? Putting vulnerable New Yorkers right at the center of this work. Clearly, this deputy mayor is different. She's not even hearing me. She doesn't even. I was just saying something nice. An opportunity with her portfolio to really bring resources and services together. And clearly, partnerships like this feels different to me, right? This is, maybe the long-term kind of partnerships that we really need. You can tell when people are forced together. And you can tell when people have really come together, and that's what I see here today. So I've only been here since Saturday, but I have been to 6 shelters during that time, so this is number 6. And what I've seen are some of the challenges of the past and how we want to move forward, and then of course what I've seen here today and elsewhere throughout the city as well is what we see for our future, the kind of resources and shelter we want for our people and our families. And so thank you all for that. And so I think this site reflects the city and these partners' firm commitment of providing clients with dignity and welcoming spaces so that they feel that we've got them when they walk in the door. You can tell no stone has been left unturned. I mean, just look at what's behind me. Right? Is that not beautiful? I've also been looking at apartments over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, exactly. I had 3 days in a blizzard to find a place. It's no problem, I got that. But you can tell from the door what a place is like. You can tell if it's organized. You can tell if people are here for you. And that's what you see here today, right? So, a shelter is more than just a roof over our head. It's the services, it's the supports, it's the people that make it feel welcoming. And so I see this place and others like it as our efforts to start to change the decades-old challenges of the old shelter system into a shelter system that really works for folks. So for our clients, places like this are delivering better outcomes by providing critical services and settings that work for them. For our providers, and I heard a little bit about this today, we're providing the opportunity for these places to be owned and supported by the nonprofit community. I actually know no other way. That's what's used to me. But who better than a nonprofit organization like URI to make roots in a community, make a commitment to maintaining the space, make a commitment to the community around them in order to be part of that community in the future. So this model seems to be working beautifully and is the way we should be continuing. And so as we open other sites across the city, we hopefully will do that in this model. Clearly, I want to thank, I'm just learning everybody's, it is helpful to have it behind me. I can, URI and AAFE, for the true partnership. You can tell, maybe there were some protests outside, but today it feels like, people understand what this space can bring for them. And so I want to congratulate all of you and also thank our staff at DSS and DHS. It is not nothing to help get these kind of facilities open, and so I know that also comes with blood, sweat, and tears on your side. And so I'm thrilled to be here. I want to congratulate everyone again. Look forward to meeting everybody and working more closely together. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So I want to take note of this fountain and all of the beautiful feng shui elements that we incorporated into this facility. This was not by accident. It was because of the incredible work of R.D. Chin, our feng shui expert, and I just want to give him a round of applause. Thank you. It was very important that this space reflected the cultural values of the community, and so we worked really hard to do just that. I want to call up a giant in this community, Peter Tu. Without your support, your leadership, this project could not be possible.
Good afternoon, welcome to Flushing, King of Queens. I always have respect my King of Queens. And
Here we go.
just in the parade, I say he's aggressive. He said, you are aggressive. Anyway, because we all aggressive. I want to say thank you to every one of you, especially Arthur and you. And I'm not elected official, but I want to tell you the truth on the ground. How can this shelter can make it? Flushing Chinese Business Association, we are come out from 1982. So we grew up with the Flushing as a residential here for 44 years. You can see how much I love this location. And FCBA is a non-profit organization, but we don't depend on government funding. Even we are 501c3. You know why? I want to earn the respect. As a good American citizen, I always appreciate this country. We come here for freedom. We come here for democracy. No matter we come here to fight for American, because we always have appreciation. I tell entire my family. So FCBA is 44 years support by small business owner. So I know how hard. During the beginning, when Arthur tried to build up the shelter, you know why? I've been Empress Hospital community advisory for 20 years. I'm Asian American. I love this country. I like to do some volunteer to help out the people. But during Arthur, this location is near downtown Flushing. It's going to damage the people mind think. It's damage the small business owner. That's why you say Arthur faced so many protests, rally, so many years. And Thomas and Crystal and Nelson, they have to scare it. And even they have to, when they build a construction, they need to neighborhood to sign for it. I help them. And from the beginning, I am in the rally to against them. But why I become support them, changing my mind? Because I see the migrant from Texas. I see the, the rich behind is too low. Our gate, the rich getting poor is too big. I see that we need to help the homeless. That's what I did. In 1990, I asked the FCBA member, go with me to the downtown Manhattan. to get a hard soup and bread, and looking on the street, one by one find the homeless. But in that time, that homeless is different like today. They have their homeless culture. I love the people, I care the community. So that's why I decided to asking AAFE. I said, Thomas, I can support your project to stop the people of community that are against you. But only one requirement from me. Because when 1991, I do the homeless by myself, I went to the many shelter. The city spent a lot of money for the shelter, but the shelter management is bad. I saw the bread is bad. I saw everything is bad. Then I wish, because I feel, I don't know you, now I know you. Okay? But I feel they've done so many good things to care about the community. So I asked King Thomas, if I can have deal with you, during the shelter opening, can you management get involved, hire more local people, has a feeling with here, and they were good management for the shelter. Because the shelter, it's very, very good to help the homeless. That since I come to America, I know how can we feed back to the community under our Constitution. We don't care about the homeless people we have. But I'm very happy. Thomas said, I do my best. And today, I see the DHS, the commissioner here, and I'm very happy. Deputy mayor here, then mayor here. You know why? She is a CEO of Homelessness Hospital. I'm surprised. Thomas tell me. I said, what? Do I know? I know the people, right? The people right was CEO of Homelessness Hospital. That's why I know Christ Human. Ask Christ Human to support the Homelessness Hospital. So I just want to tell you, Commissioner and Deputy Mayor, if there is any possible, please give AAFE more chance to get involved to the management. Let's make a good wish today. March 13, right? March 14 or 13 today? 13. March 13. That's every one of you, including myself, with my entire FCPA members. That Flushing shelter become a model shelter in the entire city. And I think, yeah, the king or queens never agree with me. He said he love it. And I love you. You love my speaking, I love you, okay? But I tell you, let's become a good shelter to help the people who in need to help. Make a good wish. I believe in you, Deputy Mayor. When I see your face, I believe in you are an honest person that can make a good wish for my Flushing, for your city, for all entire American. We are American. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Peter. We all love you. Now I would like to call up Ms. Angela Thompson, who is URI's Senior Vice President of Housing Initiatives. Alongside Siobhan King and the rest of URI's programs team, she will be providing services to the folks here at this site.
No, I'm a little taller. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Morning still. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Again, as Lauren has shared, I am Angela Thompson. I am the Senior Vice President over Housing Initiatives, and I am extremely excited for today. I just want us to take a moment before I start, and just take a deep breath in and out. What we are experiencing, the feeling that is in this room, it is hope, it is strength, and it is peace. Each of you are embracing that. But guess what? Next week, our families will be walking through this door, and they will be impacted by that same presence, that same feeling of hope, in partnership with an amazing community, as well as our service delivery model. So I just wanted us to feel just the energy that is in this room and that our families are going to experience when they walk through this door. Whew. Yes, I feel it. Wow. Well, I just want to continue today. This marks a meaningful milestone that continues to demonstrate the heart of who Urban Resource Institute is. A heart that now, in collaboration with so many community leaders here and our amazing partner, AAFE, continues to demonstrate what it means to be advocates of advancing housing stability with, guess what, a deep commitment to what housing, economic, equitable, justice, community stability, as well as family well-being represents. That's who we are as we continue daily to expand our continuum of care. URI, as well as AAFE's partnership in this collaboration, it's one that is transforming. You have heard so many people that walk up here today. It is transforming. Why? Because it is grounded in respect for culture, but also for social and economic fabric of the Flushing community. This partnership with AAFE and URI, it reflects a belief that so many of you also have as you are seated here today. Excellent. Thank you. This partnership reflects a belief that housing is not simply a placement. I love that. But it is a pathway to families' safety, dignity, and most of all, long-term stability. AAFE's deep roots is what has made this partnership with URI so amazing. Why? Because they are deeply rooted in the Asian American community and its long-standing commitment to what equitable development looks like. Yes, yes. And that empowerment, but that just shows you how much force I have. Without the mic, I love it. But as we continue, so in the process, as we said, AAFE's deep roots in the Asian community and its a long-standing commitment to equitable development, it aligns so perfectly with who we are as URI. Why? Because URI's mission and advocacy is for safety, as well as survivor-centered services. Together, AAFE and URI, we are demonstrating, and so many of our leaders that have come up here, thank you all. What we're demonstrating is what it looks like for organizations, partnerships, and collaborations to come together with shared values, to join forces to address housing instability at a neighborhood level. This collaboration is a model of cross-sector partnerships that honors culture. It honors culture. It honors community voices, as we just heard, thank you, as well as responsible development. URI continues to be a long-standing provider of full continuum of care, from emergency housing to transitional housing. And as we continue this focus and impact of going in communities on a community level, the expansions of supportive housing, as well as eventually our affordable housing, that's who we are. It is a, yes, please, thank you. Today, AAFE, as well as URI's partnership, it reinforces the shared value that every family deserves an opportunity to thrive. It demonstrates that housing and the importance of housing is a positive, stabilizing force when built with intention. with intention, as well as, most of all, with community and alignment. I just want to share, because we're very excited about the PALS integration. Yes, thank you. Again, URI's, our passion for service has always been centered in safety, equity, and access. And this collaboration with PALS and partnership, thank you, to DSS and DHS, it shows as an extension of us continuing that mission with Magnolia Gardens and so many other housing that we provide. They're more than buildings. They are foundations for rebuilding, for restoration, as well as new beginnings. With our PALS integration, through our years of advocacy, people and animals living safely. Because why? Pets are our family. They're our family. And families heal best when what? They remain together. Yes. And stable and whole. Yes. Thank you. And so in this partnership, again, we extend our greatest appreciation to DHS and DSS. I see Lauren recognizing, I see it, I'm closing, just in recognizing what PALS have not only done in Magnolia Gardens, but the vision innovatively that it's going to expand throughout all housing and provisions of services for our family. Why? Because keeping our families together with their pets is not an optional service. It is an essential component to trauma-informed care. And in closing, this understanding continues to help us shape policy, practice, and acknowledge that stability, safety, and long-term success are strengthened when families are not forced to choose between safety and their family, which is their animals, but we provide the comfort, the connection, and the emotional grounding that will continue their trajectory of success. Magnolia Gardens, again, I close, are more than buildings. They are foundations for rebuilding, restoration, and new beginnings. And just before, I want to acknowledge, they have acknowledged all of URI, the representation, but this project was not possible without asset development, without finance, without all of our, but most of all, our programmatic members, which is Siobhan King, that was identified, Adrian Castillon, which is our program director, but most of all, one of my favorite, and I leave with you, is that without a vision, a people perish. We have visionaries, Nathaniel Fields, Dr. Amanda Eckhart, Beverly Riddick, as many others, to continue to partner in these amazing collaborations and bring success to every neighborhood and community. We're transforming.
Angela took us to church, she took us back again, and it is impossible to follow her. I'm not even going to try. I can't bring that energy. I would like to call up Ji-Hae Fisher, who is the Executive Director of the Korean American Family Service Center and one of our collaborative members.
All right, so
Amen.
I feel like I have to pray now. Hi everyone, my name is Ji-Hae Fisher. I'm the Executive Director at the Korean American Family Service Center. And I promise you that I'm going to be quick. Because I'm getting hungry. So I still remember when AAFE reached out to KFSC and you spoke about this possible project, and instantly I was filled with excitement and hope, because as an organization that serves immigrant survivors of gender-based violence and also a service provider of transitional housing program, I know how urgently these needs are needed, and also how important this housing is for especially for our AAPI survivors of gender-based violence. So I would have to say that the transitional housing program at KFSC is a different model, but it has the long wait list, the longest wait list And that's how much we need this project. So when AAFE reached out, I just was so thrilled and so excited. We even wrote a op-ed together because I know that AAFE was faced with a lot of challenges from the community. So this is why I was so excited from the start, and this is why KFSC strongly supported this project. And our partnership did not just begin with this project. As AAPI-led and serving organization, AAFE and KFSC have built a trusted relationship over many years. When I call Thomas, I call you a lot, about a referral for a Korean American survivor, he immediately understands the cultural context and the language needs. That kind of trust and shared understanding and partnership does not happen overnight. And that I know the Assemblymember Wang Kim talked about that partnership, and this is a testament to the partnership of the communities that we built together. We know that the Mayor Mamdani is prioritizing housing affordability across New York City, and I hope Magnolia Gardens will stand as a model, not just for Queens, but for all of New York City. A model of what is possible when housing development is grounded in community, leadership, trust, and again, partnership. So I want to thank Commissioner, Queensborough President, Deputy Mayor, AAFE, and URI for making this project to life for the communities of Queens and more. And you know that you're going to be flooded with the referrals from KFSC. So thank you, congratulations to you all.
So for those of you who took the tour, you saw the fits, the finishes, every grout line is perfect. And I have checked in every room, and that doesn't happen by accident. It's because of people like David Stack from Archstone who are so incredibly committed to perfect work. David, please come up.
Where's Angela? Is she still here? She's here. Huh? Unbelievable. So they gave me some talking points, but you know, and everybody has thanked Nathaniel and Nelson. You know, both of them are friends of mine, I would consider at this point. We've worked together for 3 or 4 years now in an ongoing, partnership, and it's been exceptional for us. And we're a small part of what happens before. We're kind of getting close to the after. Peter, you, unbelievable. I wish you and Angela come work for me one of these days. But what I would do is go a little bit local and speak to the neighbours here that put up with us for 2 years. Farina, is Farina here? Anyway, she owns the petrol station, the mobile petrol station in the Duncan. There she is right there. And the Duncan.
I'm your neighbor. I'm so grateful.
I know.
And I have to say one word. You all great. Thank you all.
There you go. So, you know, I came to Queens actually from some other place in 1984. I was in one of those basements, by the way, in Woodside. So for me to give back was great. The neighbours were fantastic. I want to thank the architects team and everything that they brought to the table. It was a superb joint effort, and my own team as well. James, who was here day in and day out, Terence, and Phyllis as well. Joe is our chief of operations, who is by himself a not-for-profit that takes care of dogs that are left all over the United States and Ireland. So really appreciate it. We were a small part of it, and I hope that the families really appreciate, I know they will, the effort that you all put into this. So thank you very much.
It is, thank you, David. It is no small feat that this is the first transitional housing facility to achieve passive house standards. And that and the beautiful design is because of the incredible work of George Chang of UAI Architects.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I've got some talking points, but I do want to thank AAFE, URI, for trusting us to partner with us in designing and delivering this building for you guys. We also want to thank Archstone Builders for really bringing this building to life, as well as Bright Power, who was our energy consultant, passive house consultant, who shepherded us to getting this building certified, as well as all the city partners who have collaborated with this project. For us, architecture has a responsibility to support people, families, and communities, and we believe that Magnolia Gardens is going to do that because of AAFE and URI. We designed this building to be culturally sensitive as a purpose-built, trauma-informed housing environment. And the goal was always to provide safety, a sense of calm, healing, comfort, health, resilience, and long-term sustainability. We were very fortunate that this building is an award-winning design. We received a $1 million award from NYSERDA through the Buildings of Excellence competition. And that just means that this building is committed to providing a high-performance, sustainable housing environment, and we hope that the residents will benefit from that. This building is designed as a passive house, to passive house standards. That means that it's highly insulated, airtight, as well as thermal bridge free. And that also just means that there is a highly energy efficient ventilation system that will help to reduce energy costs and reduce the carbon footprint. What that also means is that for the residents, it'll provide a better indoor air quality, better comfort, long-term environmental sustainability, and operational cost savings. But in terms of the social impact of the building, it demonstrates how sustainable architecture can also serve social needs. AAFE and URI is providing a 90-unit home for families experiencing homelessness, paired with culturally responsive services and community support. And that, to us, means that this building is going to show how innovative design, sustainable design, can also be focused with deeply human-centered services. And we're very, very proud to be able to do this in partnership with all the people here. Thank you.
And to take us home, I'd like to invite Nina Isaki, URI's board member, to say a few words.
Thank you, Lauren, for putting ourselves between myself and lunch. Anyway, so I will keep this brief. Thank you so much. I am so humbled. I'm grateful to be here. I am a proud member, grateful member to be on the URI board, and I've been on the board for about 10 years now. And I would say, and I have these notes, but I'm gonna I think people have already said what needs to be said. I'm a professor at the Springfield College School of Social Work. So I teach about trauma-informed organizational cultures, and what I have found and what inspires me is the real focus that URI, and I'm sure AAFE, also places on true trauma-informed care. Many organizations talk about it. I can say very few realize it, because in my role, I do also some consulting to human service agencies. There's a lot of talk out there. But it's important for us to really examine which organizations are true to their word. And what, among many things I feel today, first of all, this is an exquisite setting. Fellow citizens deserve this. It's part of social justice. It's part of human rights. We all deserve a good place to live. And I'm reminded of social work values such as social justice and human rights. We're living it. we're living it, we're seeing it. And it's all about community and partnership, but it's also about leadership. My research shows that without leaders in the partnership organizations that don't have the competence, the heart, the love, it's about kindness and love to fellow citizens. And to me, today really exemplifies the best of humanity. We need to be reminded about the best of humanity. I need to be reminded of it with some of the challenging circumstances in our world. We collectively, through kindness and love, are showing the best that humanity can accomplish. I'm going to keep it in my heart to keep me through the following days and months and years ahead. But I want to celebrate, congratulate everyone on this incredible work. Also, trauma-informed research shows that the physical environment of individuals with histories of trauma has a statistically significant impact on their well-being and healing. Something that most people don't know or talk about. We're always focused on the micro, which is important, on the quality of services, but let us not forget the trauma-informed space is a big part of the healing of the clients and fellow citizens that deserve this. So I have been fortunate, I am blessed to be part of the URI family. I'm blessed to get to know others in the AAFE community. I thank you all, and I thank everyone who has put their heart and soul into this beautiful space, and we are making a difference to citizens that deserve our love and our support. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nina, and thank you everyone for joining us. I'd like to thank AAFE for providing refreshments for today. So for folks who'd like to enjoy some refreshments, they're back around through where you came in. And for individuals who will join us for the ribbon cutting, that's Team AAFE, members of the board, members of the collaborative, any elected officials or agency officials, please join us outside to do the official ribbon cutting. And please stay, enjoy refreshments and community with everybody. Thank you so much.